Welcome to the BetterU podcast, where we go in depth and get to listen to stories of hope, strength, and courage straight from some of the leading health, fitness, and wellness experts who help transform lives one person at a time. I'm your host, RKaye. It's another solo episode for me today, guys. Again, for the month of September, I am all on my lonesome, but that doesn't mean that we don't take the time to look into some of the different topics at hand, shall I dare say, when with regard to the fitness industry. And speaking of the fitness industry, today let's dabble a little or talk quite a bit of minutes here about how much the fitness industry has grown for the past few years. And quite frankly, because of the pandemic, a big chunk of the fitness industry had to really transform, or rather go into from in-person training to online training. And so there are so many trainers and fitness pros that are online these days. And what has that been like in terms of how the fitness industry has been working for the past few years, or specifically the past 5 years? And on a personal note, for me, it's something pretty crazy, yet pretty, for the lack of term, it's a pretty surprising turn of events for everybody. We came to a point where we're like, oh goodness, like what are we gonna do from training in person to training online? I know there are a lot of coaches out there who have delved with or have been very used to training people online. You know, it wasn't a special thing, pretty much. There are quite a few trainers who have become very stable and have been able to train their clients online, but for a good majority of coaches, it was something a little iffy, a little tricky to deal with. But lo and behold, a lot of people are coaching online these days. So there's so many information out there that if you are a potential client, a potential person who wants to work with a coach, who do you really want to work with? Or who should you really get to hire and train you, right? So those are some of the things that have been popping up these days. And to me, as a coach, it was something that was very, shall I say, challenging. But at the same time, it's quite a learning experience. So on both ends, it is something that you really need to work on and research on. And so today, I just wanted to go through a few of the major issues that I myself am questioning whether is it something that we should really continue doing. One of the things that I have been seeing online is this mentality of an all or nothing type of issue, specifically when it comes to what people eat. And when I say all or nothing, it seems to me that the big chunk of the fitness industry, specifically on the nutrition side, people seem to have this idea that when we scrape off a certain food group, it will come out as something that is very life-changing. of sorts. I won't specifically say which is which. I'm sure you guys are quite familiar with these types of all or nothing diets. And for me to label a particular food group as evil, and that is something that you should totally scrape off your meal, it still boggles me. And it's still, I know for a fact, I do agree, there are a lot of people who have been transformed and who have had changed their lives for the better, let us just say. But to me as well, it seems a bit drastic to, eat all vegetable, eat all meat, forget about your carbs. It seems to me that it is something that, number one, is not really something that you can sustain for quite a while. We all grow old. There will come a time that you won't be able to eat that steak. To me, I silly is a bit of a diss word, let's just say. But to me, removing certain food groups in your diet should be something that comes from a doctor and shouldn't be something that you see online and automatically say that, oh, this is something that I want to try. So be wary, people. I hope everyone who gets to listen to this podcast or this episode, I hope that you guys, as much as possible, discuss this with a professional, discuss this with your doctor, especially and specifically. And it also goes with exercise routines. Not everyone will be able to do CrossFit. Not everyone will be able to do Pilates or yoga or whatever specific recommendation that you saw online that you think would be the best fit for you. Okay? I know there's a lot of things that we see online, and when we see it, we're like, oh my goodness, I know this is something that I can do for myself that will change me and that will make me lose weight, make me gain muscles, make my body look real good. If it does work for you, well and good. But case in point here, not everything you see online will be applicable to you, which is why I am a very fierce and passionate person about personalized fitness, okay? So guys, please consult someone that you can really talk to on a personal note and who will know each and every detail about you, okay? So again, I'm not saying that the stuff you see online will not be effective, is not true, or is just a bunch of lies. No, okay? Everything that you see online, of course you see the evidence there. And of course, that is what makes you motivated. That's what makes you feel that you too can do it. Yes, absolutely, you can do it. But please be sure that it is something that is meant for you. That's all I can say for now. And so, aside from that, we'll proceed to the next few thoughts that I've somehow come up with when I asked myself, okay, the fitness industry has been quite influential, and from that term in itself, to me, it just seems like the influencers, the social media influencers, it seems to be that game where it's the social media influencers versus the actual fitness professionals, the people who had years and years of studying versus the people that you've the pretty and the handsome people. I don't want to be someone negative. I won't say anything. I will try to say as best as I can and not diss anyone, okay? To me, it's just simply put, it is somewhat a case of, I want to compare it to Dr. Google. It's always my favorite sample. Would you rather listen to Dr. Google or your actual doctor? Okay, just put yourself into that scenario. And it's pretty much the fitness professionals and the social media influencers. I am not saying that the social media influencers are 100% not giving you actual facts. Some of them are pretty good. But the thing is, again, please be mindful. Do your research. Don't just automatically, and it also goes for the fitness pros that you do follow. It doesn't necessarily mean that if they tell you something, I know it's a little confusing. This statement I'm making is probably making you guys even more confused. Like, you're telling me to listen to the fitness pro and not the influencer, and now you're telling me either or can make a mistake. Why? Well, we're humans. We can all make mistakes. You too can make your own research with regard to this. And if you're not really the type of person who likes to look into studies and the books and all of that, then there goes that part of it. But again, don't look at things in face value, okay? A big chunk of the fitness professionals are in fact not even online. You don't even see them have any social media whatsoever, okay? That's all I'm saying. So if you are the type of person who is very magnetized by a lot of social media influencers, please be wary. Don't just automatically say, oh, this fitness influencer is one of the most popular out there, and I'm guessing whatever he or she is saying is true. Don't take it at that, okay? Just look at everything, look at the facts. You can always easily search if that person was saying something true, if they were being true to what they were saying, or if it was an act. It's sad that a good chunk of these wonderful people are sometimes, backed up by marketing and all these other companies that support them. And yeah, sometimes it's just that issue. So just be very wary. It's something that I myself have been struggling with these days, and I too have to, you have to not just look at the picture up front. Always look at the research. Always look at the entirety of it. Not because it looks so darn good at first sight. It will be something that is applicable to your own lifestyle as well. So a lot of long pauses and sighs from my end here, because I know for a fact that some of you guys truly are confused or do get confused at times with certain aspects of the fitness industry. I know we are all bombarded by these marketing stunts, sometimes we call them. And it is truly something that really needs to be checked on each time. Okay, so don't be an emotional consumer. Okay, be an intelligent one. Be very, very smart about all of it. Okay, and another thing that I would like to discuss with you guys today, I actually made like a little few side notes here because I really just wanted to make sure to stick with some of the most common that we see these days. So we've gone through a couple, and I'll go through another one before I leave you guys for this episode. Another one that seems to be something that is often or has always been the banner for the fitness industry are the physiques. And to me, the fitness industry has been growing, and there's so many coaches specific to who you are. That's one of the reasons why, again, I'm very passionate. I always like to talk about personalized fitness, because if you just look hard enough, whatever you are right now, you can actually find a coach. I am telling this, and I'm shouting out to all the different coaches out there. You can really look specifically to what you are currently. You don't have to fit in like any of those boxes that people talk about or have been talking about for so many years. There's no one specific physique these days that will establish how healthy or how fit you are, okay? If you are having trouble placing on a mindset, let's say you're currently an athlete, your mindset's kind of a little blurry. You don't know where to focus on to keep your game at tip-top shape. You can always find a mindset coach. If you think your nutrition is not at its best, there's always a ton of nutritionists that you can rely on, that you can consult with. This is what I mean. If you're, let's say, a golfer, a skier, a climber, there's specific coaches, not just for your sport, but actually conditioning, physical conditioning coaches who can help you with strength and conditioning specific to your sport, your activity. If it's just general fitness, there's coaches for that. There's someone specific to your own lifestyle, to you. So if you just look hard enough. So these days, it's like, oh, I want to lose 20, 30 pounds. Guys, think of fitness more than just the number on your scale, because it is more than that. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys today. You know, there's so many other topics at hand when you just mentioned the phrase, the influence of the fitness industry for the past 5 years. There are so many topics that we can delve with or that we can discuss. Yeah, those are a few things that myself included have always seemed to go, So I hope you guys were a little entertained today with my little rambling and with my few shares with you guys. I know for a fact that there's just so many things that I throw at you guys in one episode, I know, but that's how pretty much my brain works when it comes to anything fitness and health and all that good stuff. To me, I cease to have control of how my thoughts are when it comes to what I love. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much, I know some of the things that I often share is just stuff that I repeat over and over. Why? Because it is what it is. You know, if you guys are not careful, there will always be particular consequences that happen. So be very mindful, be very wary, and always, again, don't give in to what you feel, to what you suddenly see. Think, especially if it's just a picture that you see. There's such a thing as Photoshop, guys, okay? There is such a thing as filters. Don't just immediately say that, oh my goodness, that is so amazing. Think first, okay? Take a deep breath, think first, and then decide, all right? So guys, I will leave you at that for today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. You had a little earful today. Again, this is Coach RKaye. I'll have another episode next week, all on my lonesome, and we'll be back with our guests starting August until the year ends, all right? So watch out for that, please. And as always, I shall bid you adieu, and always reminding you to never give up on your movement journey, because it's never too late to move. Bye-bye, guys. I'll see you again next week.